And for those of you just tuning in, you're listening to Exceptional Women on Magic 106.7. I'm Sue Tabin this morning. We're chatting with Kristina Saporis, who is a successful entrepreneur and Boston business leader. Kristina is talking about the companies she has launched and her unique journey. Let's get back to our conversation. So then the entrepreneur bug hit again for you.
It did.
This time, you say you were inspired by a bottle of oil from Morocco. Talk about that.
Yes. So it was about 2 years ago today. I was feeling a little confused and didn't know what to do next after Zeus and knew I wanted to do something. So again, just started becoming a really curious consumer, actually, not entrepreneur, and wrote some ideas down of consumer products that I was frustrated about, that I thought could be better, that I thought could be innovated more. And after, filling 5 pages, I started just looking a little deeper, and my friend so happened to visit Morocco and brought me back a huge bottle of like the pure cold pressed organic argan oil. And she said in America it's really well known in hair care as like the most moisturizing ingredient.
Yeah.
That's how it's translated here. The strange thing, she said, was that in Morocco they use it so much on face and lips, and that's the roots and where it's been used for the last hundreds of years. So I said, that's so interesting. So I did some more information, and I was using it on my lips and skin, and people were actually coming up to me saying, what are you doing? What did you do to your lips? So I said, okay, there's something here.
Yep.
And started doing some research on argan oil lip balms because it just so beautifully translated into a nice moisturizing lip care. So there's ones on the market. They're $30, they're $40. They're sold in like Barney's and Neiman Marcus and Sephora. And we wanted to do something for the everyday consumer. And that's kind of my niche. I like to do things that are affordable. We lose lip balms. We want lip balms everywhere. So
right.
I'm not going to go buy a $30, $40 lip balm.
Same, because I've got one in my car rolling around,
Exactly.
one in my pocket of my coat, one in my purse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're small enough that I can say this on air, but we have the same ingredient list. We're buying from the same suppliers. So we're taking a smaller margin, and that's okay with us. We want to disrupt the industry a little, and it's not really fair to be, charging that much for a lip balm that
Right.
we can put on shelves for $3.99.
Wow. So how long did it take you to come up with the formula that you wanted to use using the argan oil? Like, did you have to experiment yourself for a while? Did you have people do that?
Yes. So we did a little in our home as much as we could. Again, Google how to make a lip balm.
Imagine that. We can become successful entrepreneurs
Everyone
just by
can.
Googling.
That's what I say. I don't have a business background or a business degree. It's just really curiosity and solving.
And perseverance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So we Googled co-packers, private label, companies that already make a great lip balm that we could say, this is what we want. We studied essential oils and how amazing those are right now. So we definitely wanted to not use artificial flavors. We wanted to use essential oils to make that natural flavor come through. So we finally ended up with a company who the feedback we were getting from friends and family was, this is the smoothest lip balm in the world. And we continue to get that. So we're trademarking that we are the smoothest lip balm in the world.
Yeah, and that's what people want. It's a lip balm.
Yes.
And tell me, it's called Moroccan Magic.
Moroccan Magic.
You're available now in CVS stores all across the country,
Yes.
which is so exciting.
It's been out of anything I've ever worked on before, this has grown the fastest. And I think the feedback that we're getting, I'm getting like a full page email saying, I use this on my child's eczema. I use this on my cuticles. I can't believe the healing benefits. I threw out all of my other lip balms. Really just like, I didn't know that lip balm could be life-changing.
Right. But what are the odds that you would have 2 businesses take off in a relatively short amount of time? I mean, there's some, success there that you've had that I think is not typical. So you're obviously doing something right. And maybe it goes back to having parents, that your dad was an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And seeing that from the time you were young. Do you think that influenced your path, your family?
Well, I speak pretty honestly about it. And, Barbara on Shark Tank, I just watched an interview with her saying most of the successful people I know feel like they have something to prove. They have something to prove to themselves, or their teachers who gave them the bad grades, or their parents who didn't believe in them. So, for me growing up, I was a little rebellious. I wasn't that great in school. I had learning disabilities, ADHD,
Really?
and that's actually very common for successful people, for entrepreneurs. It gives you that drive to kind of show people I can do it.
To overcome challenges.
Exactly.
And say, this is not going to stop me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I was frustrated with how, the last company was going. It just, when you bring on investors, it isn't yours anymore, really. So I wanted to come back and do something that was true to my heart and grow it, on my own. This one I wanted to be self-funded. I didn't want to bring on investors. So I just hit the ground running, thinking one of the companies would probably take off and it would be very obvious which one to choose. But they're both doing well, so that's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem to have. And in your spare time, somehow, you also wrote a book. It's called Busy Girl's Guide to Happiness.
Yes.
I have one in front of me. And it looks really fun and interesting. Talk a little bit about, who should read this and what can they expect to find in it?
Sure. So I've gone on this self-help journey of just, who am I? Why am I on this world? What is the deeper purpose and meaning of life? And I've just always been curious from, even in kindergarten when they say, tell us about your favorite summer experience. That was like my favorite time. So just self-discovery has been kind of like my life mission.
Yeah.
So I've gone to every retreat, every seminar, and I've had like 20 notebooks at home of all these amazing how-tos, how to get up in the day and turn a bad day around, and, that our thoughts control every action and controls our reality. And there's just so much fascinating stuff out there that really we should be taught in school.
Right.
How to be happy. That's the most important thing in life. That's what we all want.
And how to be self-aware.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of us go through life and we forget about that stuff, connecting with your inner, soul and what makes you happy and what speaks to you. And we forget, we don't take the time to do that. And maybe we need to be taught to do that, or we need to allow ourselves the time to do that.
Right.
But it sounds like you're in touch with that. And maybe this book helps other people learn to do it too.
Exactly. And it's this one is, it's Busy Girl's Guide to Happiness, because hopefully it'll attract that busy girl who needs it the most, who doesn't, there's so many women, even some of my friends who, you grow up, you have a lot of pressure on you to do well in school, to get the great job, to get the great career. Then you're 30 and you're saying, wait a second, who am I? Like, who am I outside of my career? And what's my deeper meaning and happiness? And so that's the Cliff Notes to happiness, basically. It's a very short, easy read.
Yeah, and what struck me about it when I was going through it was the everyday part. Like you say that you need to create everyday happiness, and I think, as you just alluded to, a lot of us go, well, do I have this great career? Do I have this great, and we think of what objects and what jobs we have, but what about just how we feel every day?
Right.
And how can we get in touch with that and make sure that we're just going through every day feeling happy? So
and people put too much pressure on it. I have to meditate. I have to go to yoga. I have to have my green juice. It's like, have a little more fun with it. Be easy on yourself. This is really about just being more playful about it. And if you have 2 minutes in the morning as a busy mom, or, whoever you are, then just take a minute.
Right.
Go for a walk. Just, even if it's out the back door, and just look at the trees, enjoy the sunshine. Like, it can be as simple as that. That's going to change your day around.
Is writing something you enjoy, and do you think that you'll write more books?
No.
That was a hard no, and you took absolutely no time to answer.
I'm not opposed to ghostwriters or working with a publisher. I wrote this book while I was planning a conference in 7 months and launching Moroccan Magic. So I told my friends and family, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be a good friend. I'm not going to be a good girlfriend right now. I've got to get this book out the door. I just needed to get it out there. It was just information that I wanted everyone to read. I love blogging and I love writing when I'm inspired to write, but it's really hard to do it on a schedule. I'm not that type of writer.
If you're just waking up and tuning in, you're listening to Exceptional Women on Magic 106.7. We've been talking with entrepreneur Kristina Sapouris about her successful businesses, her self-help book, and we'll discuss her networking group, which connects and inspires hundreds of other female business leaders. Let's continue. And I want to talk about Boston Businesswomen. It's a networking group that you founded. Tell us a little bit about that and what's the mission?
Yeah, so I have been an entrepreneur, how old am I? 32. So I have been working from my home office alone, having conversations with my dog throughout the day. That's the extent of my social life. So I decided I want to meet other amazing women who are also working from home, who are also doing amazing things. So that started as just a private Facebook group. In New York, I was belonged to a lot of these private Facebook groups that really were so amazing and so supportive, and it didn't make you feel alone. So I started with that in mind, and that grew very, very quickly. It's Boston Business Women on Facebook, and we have 8,400 women in the group now.
Wow.
It's the fastest growing women's group, or any size networking group in Boston.
And it's only a few years old, right?
It's less than 2 years old.
Less than 2
Less
years
than
old.
2 years old.
8,400. Wow.
But we have corporate women, we have women from every industry, we have entrepreneurs, we have moms who just want to connect with women. I just met a group of women called the Margarita Moms. That sounds fabulous.
Can I be that? Can
Yeah.
I do that?
Can't we all? Yeah.
I know.
But I'll scroll through it at night. When I started, it was like crickets trying to start a conversation. Now I
Right.
can't keep up with the page. But someone will say, I had a really bad day, or this happened to me, or can you recommend a trademark attorney? Anything. You can go everywhere and find everything that you need. So it's
It's like a think tank of
Exactly.
people and
Exactly.
a support group. And
Yes.
and you do yearly conferences. Talk a little bit about that. I know you have one coming up, but you
We
do
do.
them. This will be your second.
Yes.
But you've had like Ariana Huffington. I mean, you
Yes.
get big names.
Yeah, and what I do in life is just take the road less traveled. So I find these people on Instagram or places that people aren't typically reaching out to them, and I ask.
Really?
A lot of people say, "How do you get what you want?" And I say, "I just ask."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people are willing to help you and want to be a part of whatever
Yes.
you're doing, but you just have to ask them.
Exactly.
And people think, oh, they're not approachable or whatever.
Exactly.
So what happens at these conferences? Talk a little bit about what people can expect.
So we are not your typical business conference. We don't talk politics. We don't talk about why it's hard to be a woman. We celebrate what it means to be a woman, about being supportive, education. We have Susie Batiste, who's the founder of Poopery, and she has a fascinating
awesome.
story. She's coming in from Texas, and she's gone through 2 bankruptcies, an abusive husband, and now is worth over $300 million.
And willing to share her story
Yes.
and her struggles. And I love that.
She's fabulous.
Yeah. Tell me how people can find out more about Boston Business. Is it business?
Boston Business Women. Yes.
How can they find out? How can they join? How do they get involved?
Sure. BostonBusinessWomen.com. We're selling tickets now to the conference. It's May 17th.
Okay.
And we're going to have 1,200 women there, huge exhibitor hall. Boston Magazine's sponsoring a relaxation lounge. Neiman Marcus has a beauty bar. It's going to be, It's a fabulous, really fun, get dressed up and celebrate day. So BostonBusinessWomen.com. We also have a membership program as well.
Why is the networking piece so important to you? When you talk about it, I can see your passion and how much it means to you. It sounds like you sort of found your people.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it feels like. I was like, I want to find my tribe. I want to find my people. Not partying every weekend anymore.
Right.
Not really partying at all anymore. And that's a hard place when you're in Boston and you're 25 and you're like, I don't want to go out every night. I actually want to just sit around and talk about ideas and business and personal growth. And I was looking for those people, so I found them.
When you look back so far at your career, and you're only, 32 years old, but what are you most proud of? You've done a lot of things.
I think failing forward and teaching others to do the same, and redefining what failure means. If you're not failing, you're a failure, is what I've heard. And that speaks really true to me. So you have to go out there and take risks and just live life.
Right. And you have to step outside of your comfort zone and be willing to fall down, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
100%.
We're running out of time, but I just have one more quick question. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
To stop caring what others think, and to stop. The only thing you have to prove is to yourself, not to other people.
That's awesome. I love that. And I want to just, again, mention the website,
Yes.
how they can get your book if they want your book. If you want to go over that, that would be great for our listeners.
So BostonBusinessWomen.com. My book can be found on BusyGirlDaily.com.
Okay.
All of my social media is Busy Girl Boston. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And then for Moroccan Magic, we're in CVS, and you can find our store locator at MoroccanMagicBeauty.com.
And I know you have a special offer right now that you want to offer to listeners if they want to go and buy the Moroccan Magic. And what do they take a selfie with it at the CVS?
So we're very excited. We just launched in CVS, over 1,000 stores nationwide. So if you find our product, Moroccan Magic lip balm, we have a peppermint eucalyptus and a coconut almond. They're fabulous. If you take a photo with them, we're giving away, one lucky winner will get a free year's supply of lip balm.
Awesome. Well, we are out of time, unfortunately. Thank you, Kristina. What a great story you have. We appreciate you sharing with all of us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure to have entrepreneur Kristina Sapouris in the spotlight today on Exceptional Women on Magic 106.7. She is a great example of what it means to be exceptional, not only because of her business success, but because of her willingness to share her story and inspire other women to lead. Remember that exceptional women are everywhere. We interview celebrities and authors and CEOs, but we're also interested in talking to teens and coworkers and neighbors who may just be quietly making a difference. If you know someone like that, let us know. Go to magic1067.com, click on Exceptional Women, and then join me every Sunday morning at 7:30. Have a great day, everyone.